Goodman, you were in Nashville today. You saw maybe the two most important games when it comes to Final Four and national championship conversations, because the SEC Final Four could have very well be the NCAA Tournament's Final Four. You had four of the top 6 teams in America in that building today playing. What was your single biggest takeaway from what you saw today in Nashville?
The Florida Gators are the favorites to win the national title. That's what I'm going to say. They are the best team in America going into the NCAA tournament. Now, they may lose tomorrow to Tennessee, but I still believe in it, and I've seen them play now a few times in person, and I think they have the least amount of deficiencies of any team in America. They've got depth. They've got balance. They've got 3 of the best guards in America. They've got front court guys, different types. Hanglogten gives them a completely different dimension. You know, if you watch one play today, it was how he was out in an island on Mark Sears on one possession, Rob, and Sears tried to cross him up, drove to the basket, took it to the right side, and Micah stood every step of the way, and Sears wasn't able to get the shot even up over him. He gives him a different dimension, but this team is just, again, they fit so well together. You've got to give Ty Golden and his staff so much credit for what they did in the portal. And we'll have an interview later on. Trust me, you're going to want to stay and watch the afters. I have never done an interview like the one I did post-game with the Florida Gators guard trio of Elijah Martin, Walter Clayton Jr., and Will Richard. It was, again, Rob knows where it took place. Probably never been done before.
Okay,
but these guys are elite. Okay. They're elite.
Be careful saying that. Okay. It was a good interview. It was a good interview, and it was completely unexpected when we saw it come through on the group chat here for the Field of 68. I have a question about your take there. If Cooper Flagg had an ankle that was at 100%, would you still have the same opinion on Florida being the favorite to win the national title?
Probably not. But Cooper Flagg's ankle is gimpy. It's gimpy. That's the word I'm going to use with it. And until I see him back at 100% or close to it, I think right now, again, the Florida Gators are the favorites to me because, and we'll talk about it in a minute here, Auburn is not looking like themselves. Alabama got punked today by Florida. Absolutely
again
in the second half.
Again. Yeah, it's not the first time that's happened to them in recent games. I'll say this about Florida, right? I think that Todd Golden has kind of figured out a formula here for ways that you can win in the world of college basketball, right? They pound the offensive glass. They're good enough at forcing turnovers. They're not great, but they're good enough. They have a couple of really, really good individual defenders. Elijah Martin shuts the water off of anybody that he ends up getting matched up with on the defensive end. And they have 3 playmaking guards that are capable of getting a bucket. And I do think that this new going with the 2 big 3 guard system is kind of a new look, right? We had a while where everybody was trying to go smaller and smaller and smaller. And then it was, you need that one big guy with 4 guards around him to try to deal with someone like a Zach Edey, right? And I think that it's interesting that Florida is doing this. The way that they're rolling their lineups out there is they have those 2 big guys out there. It's Alex Condon and it's Thomas Hawk. And then, you mentioned Micah Hanlogten and Ruben Chinyelu. And there's, going with that 2 guard, that 2 big lineup is something that's a little bit new, but it's working for them because those guys are versatile enough in their individual skill sets. Jeff, you have guys that can step out and make a 3. You have players that are at their best just pounding the glass. Micah Hanlogten is one of the best rim protectors that you're going to find in college basketball, and I think they're able to pair those guys together. And they all play just as hard. Like that's the biggest thing I think with this Florida team is that those guys play their asses off. And they're connected and they really understand their roles. No one's trying to do something that they are not capable of doing when it comes to that team.
And think about this. Alex Condon had been their best player for like a 2-week stretch. in the last 2 games, he hasn't done much. And they've still, I mean, again, that second half today was an absolute blowout. I mean, it was close. It was a 1-point game, I think, at halftime. And then second half, they just absolutely took it to them, ended up with scoring over 100 points. The key for them is still defensively. And if they want to, they can bring it defensively. They can be one of the better defensive teams in the country, but sometimes they rebound at a high level, but that doesn't always mean you defend at a high level. Those are two different things in terms of guarding, especially in the perimeter. And, Walter Clayton Jr. is a good defender. Like you said, Elijah is a very good defender, and I think Will Richards is a very good defender. When they want to be, they can all guard because, again, they're big, they're strong, they're athletic. They can make shots from. We had him as a first-team All-American, Walter Clayton Jr., and I don't know if there's a guard I would take in the country over him. Braden Smith.
He was unbelievable today. The guy that we all